we beginning our lesson number 18, 19. The page Hey 5, the left column below in the commentary Marot HaSulam, the vision of HaSulam, the line, we have it 23. No, 27. We had finished the last lesson with something that we mentioned by the way. Something like, as I remember now, what to say in case of making plans. When you're making plans to go somewhere, to do something, that a person must soften his words, what he says, in order not to seem overconfident. And here are some, I would like to give some direction. As there are two things that we must know. If you have, first of all, what Miriam said to me, that as she learned, and also I learned it as well, when I was in the period before I have started learning the Kabbalah, where they say to the mob, just to the religious, ignorant people who doesn't study anything, who doesn't know how to work on themselves, some things, to say it like this. You see, say it like bli neder. Bli neder means, as we said, without oath or without commitment, but deep commitment. So it can be seen in strength as a kind of an oath or firmly commitment. So they say, don't say it. If you say something, I will do it like this, or I will do it like that, then you must say, then bli neder, without commitment. This is for someone who doesn't know anything about his correction. They can say it because if you say it or if you not say it is the same. Or I would say even worse. If you say it, it can be much worse, much it can be even terrible, more terrible than if you don't say it. Why is it like this? Because who can know his own attitudes toward this saying bli neder? Can someone evaluate it, whether it has the power of commitment or not? Why should one say this? So this means not to say like this, not anymore. Okay. two things one can say. If you have already a firm decision to do something or to travel somewhere, you have already the ticket, you have already all the arrangements, everything, or you plan it already in your head, everything is already completely in your hands. Then you can say, yes, I can say, and it is within a short time, maybe 1 week, maybe within 2 weeks, maybe within 1 month, maybe within 3 months. You can say then, Be'ezrat Hashem, with the help of Hashem. Okay, this is okay. Why, if you say it like this, this can make your confidence be moderate your confidence about this decision, because we must learn to take any decision in accordance with the laws of universe. It means that rely upon the making decisions, yes, but relying upon these decisions, that these decisions are in accordance with the will of the Hashem. See, this will help. If you make plans for travel or something, you say, I will do it, this, and this is for a long term, maybe a half a year later, maybe a year, maybe more, or there are some uncertainties. Maybe still my boss maybe will refuse, will say no, or something else, maybe I will not have enough money. Then you say it like this. Then you say it, Im Yirtzeh Hashem. Some slightly different, but it means if Yirtzeh, if Hashem will, if it will be the will of Hashem. Okay, these two is enough, because in these two sayings, as it were, two wordings, you rely upon the upper level, and not on your own decision as the only one who decision maker is, that are you. Then, because in such a way you separate yourself from the light, and light means that from seeing the full reality before your eyes. Instead, you are just preoccupied by your wish. I want. And then this can blind your eyes and make you not careful enough. So these two things, but not something that you say that you rely upon yourself, like this bli neder. Okay? Because bli neder means you decide, you say that you, if you say bli neder, without commitment, as it were, that you make this statement. How do you know? No one of us knows at all whether he or she the next morning will wake up. what is this statement, and this statement also without the commitment, is it in my hands to say, I hope that my intention, my kavanah is true, but am I sure about this? That's why we are going in the Kabbalah, we are taught to go above the reason, above the understanding. Then I know for sure that not me is this, from one point I am decision maker, but from another point when I am already made all the preparations here, because it's given here in this world, the brains are given to a person to settle all his life here, physical and material life, financial, all of this just by the earthly mind. And even then after I have calculated everything, I say in myself, and now I go above my understanding, above my mind. By the way, the greatest businessmen in this world also, they are doing in this way, but they don't rely upon the almighty power, but they after they make all the calculations, after that they give themselves they are rising up in the feeling of a kind of intuition. They go also above these all calculations, and then one can say afterwards, after all the calculation, what I am doing, says someone, a very great milliardaire, he used to say, that first I make all the inquiry, all the market prices, I look everything, futures, and then after all, when I already know everything by my mind, in my calculations, and in my paper, and everything, then he says, I just I loosen myself, I free myself from all this information, and then I listen to my inner voice. And then one milliardaire, a great milliardaire, he said, and then I listen to my inner voice. And then if my inner voice says to me that if I feel that my left ear, corrupt? Yeah, itches. If my left ear itches, then I buy it. If my right itches, then I leave it. I don't buy it. You see, this is every specialist, even in our world, uses this kind of intuition. This is a human intuition. In every profession, if someone really top one in this, a very good one, then he uses also this, also the artists, the painters, they do it, they live it in this way. Even then they go above their mind. And just an example for you. In the same way, we must do it moreover in the spirituality, in something concerning some power, the power which is the pure life, which lives forever. Whilst me, I am born with a body, bodily desires, with misery and all of this endless misery. So, of course, that I have all the reason to rely upon the things that are above my understanding. But still I must try to understand what is given to me to understand with my mind and with my powers, my strength. And then, if I see that whatever would be my decision, I must rely upon the Hashem. You see, it's like this, like, let's say that someone is getting ill, sick. Okay, you must go to the doctor. The doctor is given here and this here on earth to heal the body and all these diseases, even mental, because mental has nothing to do with spirituality. All kinds of these things. You may go to the doctor. You may go to the doctor, why not? But if you go to the doctor and he makes some treatment or gives you some medicine, and then you, let's say, over 10 days you are better, that when you are getting better, you must say to yourself, within yourself, even I would not go to the doctor. I would be healed by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, by the Creator. You see? But you must do it, and then you must say it like this. In this case, you will be accustomed, you will learn yourself to rely upon the upper powers. See? But still, it's good to mention these two, mention two things, what I said, that Be'ezrat Hashem, with help of Hashem, and another time when you are less sure, then you say it im irtze Hashem. This is just a little bit, so that why we do it, just, by the way, just that in this study we will get all-around knowledge also about, from the Torah, because in the Torah are given the laws of the universe. And all parts of the Torah we will just discuss it. But in the light of the Kabbalah, the page Hey, 5, the left column, the line 27. So now we have started the last lesson, this very important commentary, sub-commentary, Mar'ot Sulam, the vision of the Sulam, where he gave us a list of numbers. He said we have met some numbers in these several pages of the Zohar, the several first pages of the Zohar, and now he explains them. And he finished with saying that it is written in the Sefer Yetzirah that there are 10 Sefirot and not 9 and not 11. And that is prohibited to add to this 10 or to make it less 27. אמנם, כן הוא שאין לגרוע ולהוסיף על 28 מספר 10 מכל מדרגה או פרצוף. Point 27. אמנם, but however, it is true that it is true that she'ein ligroa ulehosiv, that one must not make must not lesser or make or add to the number 28 eser, to the number 10. Mikol madrega or partsuf, from any level or partsuf. Point 28. Ela sheyesh 29 ladat she'elu 10 sfirot kachab chagat nehim Einan, and now the next page, Vav 6, the right column above the first line. Beikaran, Rak, Hei, Sfirot, Levad. Shehen, double point, Kachab, 2, Tum, point. We are returning to the previous page. The left column, after the point, 28 after the point. Ela, but, sheyesh ladat, one must know, 29. She'elu 10 sfirot, that these 10 sfirot, Kachab, and remember this, how we pronounce these abbreviations. Kachab, Chagat, Nehim, Einan, they are not, look, first line, the right column, Beikaran, Rak, Hey, they are basically, they are only Hey Sfirot Levad, only 5 Sfirot. Shehen, that these are, point, double point, Kachab, to Tum, that these 10 Sfirot are, in fact, are the 5 basic Sfirot, Kachab, Tum, Keter, Chochma, Bina, and then Tum, Tiferet, U, Malchut. This Vav is just means end. Tum means Tiferet, U, Malchut. Tiferet and Malchut. It is very important to still realize yourself that there are only 5. Everything exists with 5. Look at our hands, 5 in the right hand, 5 in the left hand. Our everything is, actually a lot of things you will see are 5. Point 2, after the point. Ela, shesfirat hatiferet, kolelet betocha, 3 sfirot, chagat nehi. Lachen, yotze lanu, mispar, 10. Point. You see, he knows where he wants to bring us. And you must rely upon where he wants to bring us. You see, he already spoke about these things, but now he speaks about this separately. And you will see that sometimes he will bring us somewhere that we would say, this is too complicated, or we would protest, we would say, from inner part, from within us, that why does he make it so complicated? You must rely upon, because everything what we are doing here with the Zohar is we giving up, as it were, a piece of our overconfidence, that the result is of our wish to receive for myself, in order to achieve additional tastes that I don't know without this study. And that's why we follow him, and we will see that it will seem to us that he repeats things, and he does repeat sometimes, but without this it would not be the Torah. It would be physics or something else, chemistry, that were just only biological statements, etc. Something is built up, the knowledge, and the knowledge is important. And here is not the knowledge, but the all-around picture of the reality, and the feeling of the reality, not just a piece of it. Take a piece of it and look at it, but every time the Zohar and Ari gives us in every piece, gives us the perception of the full reality. And that's why he knows how to even every repetition, as it seemingly repetition, is something new. And so must be also your attitude, that you say, oh yeah, I heard about this. No. As I say in my lessons, that every day you take a slice of bread in the morning, in your breakfast. No? And still you take it already years and years, and you will take it up till all your life. And you still want it. See, in the same way is everything that you learn, study in the spirituality. Take it as if and it is indeed like this, it is hidush, it is new, news, it is something new for you. In such a way it will it will awaken, still every time awaken you in your study, and then you will receive. You can receive something only upon your awakening for what you hear, what you listen. That's what he says. The line 2. Ela she sfirot hatiferet. Sfirat hatiferet. But that the sfira tiferet, the fourth sfira, kolelet betocha shesh sfirot, has in itself 6 sfirot. Chagat, chesed gvura tiferet, nehi netzagot yesod. Lachen yotze lanu mispar eser. That's why it comes for us out. I just translated plain translation. That's why it comes for us, lanu, for us, out, the number 10. You don't say it in English, but in such a way you look at the construction of the holy language. Point Amnam. Kol eilu sheshet apratim chagat nehim. 5. Einam rak hitpratut shel sfira achat hatiferet. 4. Amnam. However, kol eilu sheshet apratim, all these 6 details, chagat nehi, the details of the tiferet, 6 sfirot of tiferet. 5. Einam rak hitpartut, that this is only the detailization of one sphera, the tiferet. You see, and the sphera tiferet is also mentioned as is also within these 6. But the tiferet, all of them has the quality of this tiferet. This tiferet is actually the middle point of it. You see, it's like, how can you imagine this? All of them are, look like this. Let's say in one country, within the country, geographical, within the country, if you take a country, France, I don't know, I just don't speak about this real things, but let's say France. Within the France, you can say there are a region where the people speak the best France, the best language, French, the best French language. And then there are also on the peripheral and the peripheral area of France, let's say in the south, Toulouse, of Lyon, or let's say, or in the north, they are speaking quite different French. Why? Because also they belong to this. Also they are speaking French over there. They speak French, but still it is different. You can see. It's all French, but it is all that you can see in the middle of the French, of the France, they speak the real French. And only here, whilst if you come somewhere on the border with Spain or like this, you hear a kind of French language, but most French people would even not understand it properly. This is like other sfirot within these 6 sfirot, Chesed, Gvura, and Netzachot, Yesod, that are together, have the general quality Tiferet. But in particularly, they are 6 sfirot, 6 different tastes of the Tiferet. And this is the body of the Parzuf. Actually, the receivers of the light is Tiferet, or these 6 sfirot. 6. Uma she'anu mefratim rak lesfirat hatiferet. 7. Bilvad velo le hagar eino inyan la shevach hatiferet ela eit adraba hu ba lo mipaat chisrono klapei hagar. Point. You can feel it like as if it is a kind of mathematics or physics like this, because it's very logical what we are learning, and still it's holy. It's so still learning and to be accustomed to this language, and this will give the revelation and understanding that will go much beyond everything that here on earth is receivable. Look, 6. Umasha anu mafaratim, and the way and the question that we regard only the Sphira Tiferet in her particular parts, like particular 6 Sphirot within Tiferet. 7. Velo le'hagar, and not the gar. Gar is and not the Sphirot of gar. Gar is the Gimel Rishonot, and not concerning the three first Sphirot, Keter Chochma Bina. These Sphirot, Keter Chochma Bina, we don't look at their, as it were, particular Sphirots. Just one Sphira, we call it Keter, then Chochma, and then Bina, but Tiferet, we use it, as it were, we consider 6 Sphirot of the Tiferet, and we add them, as it were, to this number of 5. So he said, why it is like this, he said, Eino inyan lesheva hatiferet. This is not because of it is not that by this the Tiferet is to praise, praisen, in order to praise the Tiferet, so that meaning that the Tiferet is something greater than these 3 first sfirot like this. Ela adraba, but on the contrary, on the contrary. 8. Hu ba lo mipat chisrono klape agar. This comes because the Tiferet has its shortage towards comparing the gar, comparing the three first sfirot. See, so that's how he puts it. So let's go further. 9. Vehu ki hitpartut zo hi inyan hitkalalut hei ten asfirot zo bazo. Vayesh bachol achat mehen hei sfirot. 11. Kanoda. Venimtsa sheyesh hei sfirot kachab tum baketer. 12. Levade. Veyesh hei sfirot kachab tum bachochma levada. 13. Veyesh hei sfirot kachab tum bebina levada. Point. Now he explains this. In 9. Vehu, and this comes because ki hitpratut zohi inyan hitkalut hei sfirot zobazo, that this particular sfirot, or this detailization, is because the 5 sfirot are enclosed in each other. V'yesh b'chol achat mehen hei sfirot, and every one of them has the 5 sfirot as it is known. I will explain it just first. Let's translate it. V'nimtza, and it follows. Sheyesh hei sfirot kachab tum baketer, that there are 5 sfirot, kachab tum, keter chochma bina, basic sfirot, keter chochma bina. Note, here we call it a particular sfirot. Keter chochma bina tiferet umalchut, in the keter. So the keter itself has 5 sfirot in itself. All of them are keter. Keter de keter, chochma de keter, bina de keter, tiferet de keter, and malchut de keter. All of them are from keter. Vayesh hei sfirot kachab tum b'chochma levada. And there are 5 sfirot, keter, chochma, bina, kachab tum, so we pronounce it. Kachab tum, keter, chochma, bina, tiferet umalchut. B'chochma levada, only in the chochma itself. So also in the same way, like keter de chochma, chochma de chochma, bina de chochma, tiferet de chochma, and malchut de chochma. 13. V'yesh hei sfirot kachab tum b'bina levada, and there are also 5 sfirot only in the bina, also only bina itself. So keter kachab tum, keter chochma bina, tiferet umalchut, keter de bina, chochma de bina, all of them bina. Bina de bina, tiferet de bina, and malchut de bina. You see? So why all of them, why every sphera is connected to another one? Here he doesn't explain, but let's look, maybe he will explain it. If not, we will see, maybe I will explain. All the correction, all the developing of the system of the universe from Ein Sof to our world and creating of a human being is from thin to thick, from more coarse existence, because the coarser existence, the more individual it becomes, the more independent it becomes, and the more it can do here on earth, and the more it can be of a quality of partnership with the light, the creating light. And first, when the Sfirot came out, they were one under another one, Keter, under the Keter Chochmah, more, and then Binah, Tiferet, and Malchut. But even in the light, when it was in the beginning, when there were 4 stages in this becoming of the Kli in the world of the infinity. Even there was, the last stage was Malchut. And every stage, every previous stage has everything in itself what the lower stage has, or Sphira has. The Keter has everything what in itself to give to Chochmah and all other Sfirot, because one can give only what he has. If the Chochmah comes from the Keter, that means that the Keter has the Chochmah in itself. And the same way is the Binah comes from the Chochmah. And the Malchut is the last one, and the Malchut can receive the light only by reflecting this light. And by reflecting the light, Malchut covers, as it were, adds, as it were, to every upper Sphira the Sphirot that a particular Sphira doesn't have, to fill it, to have 5 Sphirot. Look, when the Keter gives light to the Chochmah, of course the Keter has all 5 Sphirot in itself. Yeah, why? Because as I said, that you can't give something what you don't have. So it has 5, and it takes 5 for itself, and it gives 4 to Chochmah. Yes, because Keter of the Keter, you can't give to the Chochmah. Chochmah doesn't see this, has no power to perceive the Keter of the Keter. So it gives four of it to the Chokhmah. Chokhmah keeps 4 for itself. This is for the higher light, that comes from above to the down to the Malchut. Chokhmah takes these 4 for itself, one one specially Chokhmah, special for the Chokhmah, but 4 Sfirot in total, and gives 3 to the Binah, and the Binah keeps 1 for herself, and she gives 2 to the Zeir Anpin, and Zeir Anpin keeps 2 for himself, and gives 1 to the Malchut. 1 is that what he needs, and 1 he keeps that what he gives to the Malchut. And this is very special. This is a very special and must be very special understanding for the spirituality, that what comes through one sphera and is destined for another, for the lower sphera, stands forever in the sphera that lets it through itself, like Zeir Anpin. Let's say Zeir Anpin has only sphera Zeir Anpin for him, that is destined for him, but Zeir Anpin also brings, as it were, Malchut let come down to the Malchut, to the place, to the destination of the Malchut. And so every sphera, upper sphera does it for the lower, for lowest spheroids. And then look what's happening. Then we see that only the Keter has 5 sferot, and not what he tells us, that also Chokhmah has 5 sferot. We see that in this, by this explanation, we see that 5, logically, that the 5 sferot has only the Keter. Yeah. Chokhmah has 4, Binah 3, etc. But when the receiver is only one receiver, the real receiver is the Malchut. The Malchut is the grown-up wish. So the Malchut, when Malchut receives this light, and it is not that Malchut receives only the light only once, is only one sphera. Within the Malchut there are all 5. We say it like this, that from above to below, that what I told you. But this is also spiritual. This is also how to learn this wisdom. Is from one point, of course, that the upper sphera is upper. The word says it, that upper means upper. But from another point, it is like this, that Malchut is, as it were, the most outer sphera, and within this Malchut there is the Zeir Anpin, and within the Zeir Anpin is the Binah, etc. So actually the Malchut has the reflection of all of them. And what I said also, that the Malchut, when the Malchut rises up, the Or Choser, the reflected light, because all the light comes upon her, and now she will have, after the Tzimtzum, after the, how do you call it, restriction, she reflects this light. And reflecting this light, look how it reflects. The place from where the light comes out, this is the Keter always. Yes? This is the source of light. So the source of light from the Malchut begins with the Malchut. So actually, and this is the light that we call Or Choser, the reflected light. So in the reflected light is, on the contrary, is the light that closer to Malchut is the higher light. So in the Malchut is the light Keter of the Or Choser. See? And then when the light comes to the Zeir Anpin, what happens? So, look, the Malchut now reflects the light. Yeah, up till this light that comes from the Keter. And this is reflected light. So, in here, in the Malchut itself, there is a Keter, yes, Keter of the reflected light. And the Keter has all 5 lights of the reflected light. So Malchut has actually all five lights in itself, reflected lights. Means Keter of the Malchut, the light of Malchut, of the reflected light. Chochmah, Binah, Zeir Anpin, and Malchut. Now, this light rises up and embraces, as it were, the light that comes, the high light that comes to the surface of this Malchut, to the Masach, to the screen. And then how many lights she gives to the Zeir Anpin? The same way like the highlight from above. So she keeps 5 lights, 5 reflected lights for herself, and she gives to Zeir Anpin one less. Yeah, Keter of the Malchut is for her. She gives now 4 lights of the reflected light to the Zeir Anpin. One Zeir Anpin has from the upper light, from the light that comes from above, and the 4 lights now she gives to him, and so she complements him, the Zeir Anpin, to 5. Now he has also 5 Sfirot. And now here reflected light comes further to the Binah. And then to the Binah comes one less, because one light gets the Zeir Anpin for itself, and Zeir Anpin gets which light, which we call always the level with the name of the highest light. Because if one level has, let's say, 4 lights in itself, and the 4th light is light of Chochmah, then it's naturally that it has also the weaker lights in itself. That's why we call it every stage or every level, we call it on the name, we give it the name of the highest light that in this level is. So, in the level of the Zeir Anpin, it receives 4 lights of the level of the light of the Or Choser. It means that this level of Zeir Anpin is is Chokhmah, has the level of Chokhmah of the Or Choser. Yes? So the Binah receives 3 lights of Or Choser, and it complements here to 5. And the Binah gives, from the Binah comes and the Chokhmah receives only 2 lights of Or Choser. Yeah? So it means that, or 1 light, that 1 light actually. So it complements each other. The light that comes from above, and to all these 5 sferot, and the light that comes from beneath, from the Malchut, gives another kind of light, this light of the creation, of light of the Kli, reflected light. So all of them have, every sphera has now 5 sferot in itself. So now a little bit, I gave it a little bit introduction, a little bit explanation to what he said, that every sphera has 5, its own 5 sferot, Kachab Tum. Keter, Chokhmah, Binah, Tiferet, and Malchut. And now we are returning to the text. 13. Point. Vehen tzarich 14 lihyot. Hei sferot kachab tum gam batiferet levado. And so he said, vehen tzarich, and so must be also 5 sferot kachab tum in the Tiferet. So we would expect only 5 sferot in the Tiferet. Yeah, Tiferet is Zeir and Pin, the same. Sometimes they say Zeir and Pin, and sometimes they say Tiferet. Point. Amnam, 14 after the point. Amnam, 15. Mitoch, Shikaro shel Tiferet hu rak or de Chasadim, 16. Velo Chokhmah, vehechrach hu, sheotam hei sfirot, hanichlалot, 17 bo, shehen rak hei minei Chasadim bilvad, ulefichach, 18. Nishtanu shmeihu, של ה' ספירות שבו. כי הכחב ירדו 19 בו לבחינת חגת. והתפארת ומלכות ירדו בו לבחינת 20 נצח הוד. Point. Now he explains this. I can confess you that when I started learning this Chokhmah, the Kabbalah, and when I started learning this, I read it many times, and I didn't understand a word. Yes, and I tried to study from other living Kabbalists. I couldn't understand. I was even more confused. You see, what I want to say to you, be patient. And many times and then again, it's like, it doesn't feel. So firstly, it doesn't feel. We don't have the kilim, we don't have the perception, we don't have the feeling for these sferot. And then it looks like just a knowledge, the one sfera, the sfera. And one must be again the same what we had said before. To build up a great belief, and great deal of belief, and going above your knowledge and above your feeling even, because the feeling here in the earthly feeling can say what's going on here. The five sferot, this, how can I feel it? If I take a sausage, I see it, this is a sausage. A hot dog, I know this is a hot dog. A Coca-Cola, I know what it's all about. Just like this. But here, I don't feel. That's why a great deal of the studies, the patience, and the fully concentration. The concentration, the utmost concentration every time. And this concentration brings you deeper and deeper in yourself, in your own ability to perceive things that are hidden behind this placenta of the material world. Like a child when it's in the womb of his mother, it thinks that all of this is the world. See, and it comes out, it cries. It's terribly to come out of it. And it's nothing to do. It's like also here with the Kabbalah is not different. To become or to let or to be born spiritually to be born, it's like we can compare it with the material birth of a child. Like a child when it comes from the womb of a mother, it has a great revelation. It's also a lot of pressure, and it's still excitement, and a great world. How much more is the outcoming in the spirituality? It means the out of this placenta of the material covering, material elements of this placenta. It's the same like in the womb of a mother. Yeah, look at the cosmos. Okay, it's getting less. The further you are coming in the cosmos, the less concentrated is, the less density is of material substance. But it's still material. You see? And only by this spirituality, by coming through all this material perception, a person can come to the spiritual birth. And if you desire if your desire great still gets more and more tremendous, greater, every day you desire it more, and you are coming inside deeper and deeper, and then you just want one thing, then no one can stop you. And then you will eventually come out out of this placenta, and only then you will be able to see things properly. Then you will see that you exist, and the light that you will see over there and nothing else. And all this what here on earth is a part of it, is a very small part of it. It's very small, very almost nothing. And still it is very important part, because here we must bring inside of this coarse, the most coarse, the coarsest substance, we must bring the light in. It's always there, but we must experience this here and bring it also through our corrections, through the correction of our material substance. We must bring it and experience it here, and not outside of the placenta. Over there it will be still perfectioning, still will go on perfectioning without end. Even in the most perfection, the highest state of perfection, there will still be place for even higher perfection. And that's why if you look at this and then you compare the text, what we are going through it, with all these sphirot and this, and you eventually will think, but what it has to do with this? This has to do with this. This, only this, by studying this and very perceptive and very receptive and willingly we can go through our own coarseness, our gravity. This is all, the problem is only my own inability in this state to perceive it, to clean myself, and in order to come in conformity with the light. And then I will see it, and then I will receive everything, all the good that is prepared for me, for my soul. And my body will let me free. And this is the goal of the creation. And always look at this, always keep it in mind, and you will not have a moment, you will not be a moment borrowing. Yes, how would you call it? That vervelend. You will not be bored. You will not a moment be bored by this study. I studied this already a couple of years. Every day, every moment when I'm studying, when I study this, I find new things, new tastes. And this is the greatest thing of this study. So he said us that, so it might also the Tiferet must have had 5 Sfirot Kachaptum, like the Keter Chochmah and Bina, the 3 first Sfirot, 14 after the point. Amnam, 15. Mitoch sheikaro shel tiferet hu rak ora chasadim velochas chochma. Look, everything is quality. Look, only the quality. Kabbalah is quality. When the quality changes from something, then it's something a new unit, a new quality, a new spiritual object appears. Look, amnam. But 15. Mitoch, however, mitoch sheikaro shel tiferet, due to the fact that the tiferet is only the essence of the tiferet, hu rak ora chasadim, is only the light of chasadim. This is the light of the body of the partsuf. Yeah, the tiferet begins from the chesed, and chesed begins from the fourth sphera. This is the body already, and the body has the light of the tiferet, of the chasadim, velo chochma, and not chochma. 16. Vehechrahu shotan hei chasadim. That's why it is necessary that these 5 sferot nichlalot bo, that these 5 sferot that consist, from that the tiferet consists of, that they shehen rak hei 17 shehen rak hei minei chasadim bilvat. Let's look at this, that they are only, that these 5 sferot are only 5 chasadim. Yes. So because all of them, look at this, all the body, the chesed gora tiferet netzach hod yisod, this is body, it is not a head. In the head we have, in the keter chochma binah, they belong to the head, and in the head there is chochma, wisdom, the light of chochma. But in the body there is only chasadim. That's why the 5 main sphirot, or 5 basic sphirot here, must be 5 chasadim. Ulevichach, and that's why 18. Shenishtanu shmeihu shel hei sphirot shebo. That's why, look what he says. That's why the names of these 5 sphirot in the tiferet are changed. And the tiferet, he means the 6 sferot, from the peh, from the mouth, yeah, from under the head of the partsuf. That they are only chasadim, so it means that's why the name of their names are changed now. How? Ki hakachab yardu 19 bo lefhinat chagat. That the kachab, the keter chochma bina, so the light from the head, yes, made a zivuk, yeah, in the head. We have the place where zivuk is made, on the masach in the peh, in the head. And then the masach comes through the masach, the light comes within, and the light comes within it, and also the sferot that are chasadim. So what it means? Ki akachab yardu, what he says, 18 after the comma. Because the kachab, keter chochma bina, the 3 sferot in the head, yardu bo lichinat chagat, they descended into him, into the tiferet, in the aspect of chagat, as chesed gvura tiferet. So in the body of the partsuf, keter becomes chesed, and chochma becomes the gvura, and the bina becomes tiferet. Veha Tiferet umalchut yardu bolivchinat netzach v'hod, whilst the Sferot Tiferet umalchut, and whilst the Sferot Tiferet and Malchut from the head, from the head, the Tiferet and Malchut from the head, descended to him into the body, into the Tiferet, as Netzach and Hod. So Tiferet in the head, the fourth Sphera in the Tiferet of this basic fourth Sphera, is in the body, is the name of it Netzach. And or the Zeranpin, the same, is the name of Tiferet or Zeranpin, the name of it is Netzach. And the Sphera Malchut in the head is in him, in the body is Hod. Okay? So in the point, so in the head, look, in the head we have, every Sphera has these 5 Sferot. Keter has these 5, Chokhmah has these 5, and Binah has its 5 Sferot. Kachaptum. But in the body, there is no Kachap, there is no head, as it were. There in the body there is also only the light of Chasadim, and that's why the names of them are different. So in the body we don't have this. Within body we have these Sfirot, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, and Hod. Point. Valken 20 after the point. Valken Hei Sfirot Hanichlалот Batiferet. Nikraot 21 Rak Hagatna. Valken, and that's why the 5 Sfirot, Hei Sfirot, the 5 Sfirot Hanichlалot Batiferet, that are enclosed in the Tiferet, they are called only 21 Hagatna, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod. Very, very important to learn this. If you don't completely understand, doesn't matter, but try to take from the lesson what you can. So in the body, say yourself, these Sferot are not Kachaptum, not Keter Chokhmah Binah Chesed Keter Chokhmah Binah Tiferet and Malchut, but their names are changed in Chagat Na Chesed Gvura Tiferet Netzach Hod. Then you will see, that will help you. Though you will see, you will then feel the Netzach, not like just Netzach, Sphera Netzach, but you will know then that what Netzach means. Netzach for the body is like Tiferet, is like body within the Tiferet. You see, like Zeranpin within the Tiferet, within the Tiferet, or within the body of the Partzuf. And the Hod is like Malchut. Okay? 21 after the point. Gam nitosfa alehen bchina 22 hakulelet kol hei hachasadim v'nikra yesod v'alken yesh 23 batiferet shesh sfirot chagat nehi. So up till now we see he taught us, he explained us the number 5, you see? And now what he says further, look, 21 after the point. Gam nitosfa alehen bchina kolelet. Very important what he says now. So we see that Tiferet exists of these Sfirot, first 5 Sfirot, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod. Yeah? But then he says something additional. Gam nitosfa alehan, there was also added to them, to these 5 Sfirot of the Tiferet, of the body, Bchina hakolelet kol heyas chasadim, an aspect that combines in itself, that has in itself all 5 the chasadim. V'nikra Yesod, and this is called Yesod. Look at just this, what he says about this, about Yesod. Actually, it is a special mechanism that is here. There we had what he said, that we had, firstly, shall we finish this sentence, and then I will try to give maybe some additional explanation. So he said, also 21 after the point, also is added to them the aspect that has in itself all 5 chasadim in itself, and this aspect is called, or sphera, is called Yesod. Valken, and that's why Yesh 23 Batiferet, there are in the Tiferet Shesh Sfirot, 6 Sfirot, Chagat Nehi, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. See, this is the body of the Partzuf. And look at the place of the Yesod. Yesod is actually something that additional is to this body. There is a great illustration I would like to give about this Yesod in the story of the Torah, about Yosef and the brothers, all his brothers and his father and his mother, that they bought for him, and he sustained, afterwards he sustained all of them and all the world in Egypt, and then that he was sold to Egypt, and that they wanted to kill him. Everything is greatly due to the Kabbalah. I could feel and taste it, what is written in the Torah. And this I will probably explain another time. But look at this Yesod, that from one point it is connected to these 5 Sfirot of the body of the Tiferet, but from another point it has a special place that it receives in itself all the 5 chasadim from these 5 Sfirot. All of them give it to the Yesod. And this is like a kind of the distribution center. It takes everything into itself. Actually, all the Sfirot give it to the Yesod. And the Yesod give it to all of them. How we will see it. And the Yesod gives it to the creation itself, to the Malchut, to the real receiver of the light. And the Yesod is the crucial point Why? Because in the world of Atzilut, from the world Atzilut, as we have learned already a little bit, that no Malchut of Tzimtzum Aleph stands on its place. It's hidden in the Atik, in the Parsuf Atik, in the head of the Atik, and when we are speaking about the Malchut from the world Atzilut and on, we are speaking actually about Ateret Yesod, the crown of the Yesod. And these two are bound to each other, Yesod and Ateret Yesod. And now is not the Yesod and the Malchut the receiver is, and the Yesod is the giver, but from now and on, even when we are saying Malchut, we must keep in mind that not the real Malchut, but the Ateret Yesod, as it were. All these 6,000 years, Ateret Yesod receives on any place Ateret Yesod. And Yesod is combined with this Ateret Yesod. Ateret Yesod is, as it were, cleaves to the Yesod. And the Yesod is in the middle lane. Yes, because right to him is Netzach, and left to him is Hod, but Yesod rises up in the middle line. So above the Yesod is Tiferet, and the Tiferet is Yaakov. We will learn it once. Miriam will remind me, and I will tell this about Yesod. It will be a great revelation. You will look at the Torah with completely different eyes.